औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मा वअल्हिक़नी बिस्सालिहीन अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी अस्अलुका इल्मन नाफ़िअन व रिज़्क़न तय्यिबन व अमलन मुतक़ब्बलन. Assalamu alaikum students. Today you are going to learn about the chapter number 21, the biochemistry. It is included in this is the chemistry of the living organisms. In the introduction you will be learn about the biochemistry, as well as the first one topic is the carbohydrates introduction and its classification. So basically the chemistry is the branch of science that explores the chemical processes within and related to living organisms. It is a laboratory based science that brings together biology and chemistry by using chemical knowledge and techniques. Just like that, you will learn in this chapter about the proteins, carbohydrates, lipids and nucleic acids, etc. In other words, आप अपनी ज़िंदगी के बारे में, ज़िंदा चीज़ों के बारे में देखेंगे कि उसका ताल्लुक़ केमिस्ट्री के साथ क्या है. The carbohydrates. Carbohydrate is a biomolecule. You know that the biomolecules, biological molecule consisting of the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms, usually with the hydrogen, oxygen and atoms, etc. Carbohydrates are the sugars, starches and the fibers found in fruits, grains, vegetables and milk products. Though often maligned in the trendy diets, carbohydrates, one of the basic food groups, are important to a healthy diet. We cannot live. सब कुछ खा लें, लेकिन जब तक रोटी नहीं खाते हैं, आपका खाना पूरा नहीं होता. They are normally broken down into 5 major classifications of carbohydrates: monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, polysaccharides and nucleotides. Here on the right side, these are the examples of the carbohydrates containing fruits and vegetables and the food. Now the question arises over here: what are the properties and functions of the carbohydrates? Number one, carbohydrates have the 6 major functions within the body. Number one, it providing energy and regulation of the blood glucose, sparing the use of the proteins for energy, breakdown of fatty acids and preventing the ketosis, biological recognition processes, flavor and sweeteners are the carbohydrates, and dietary fibers are also carbohydrates. Carbohydrates consist of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. The general empirical structure for the carbohydrate is CH2O N. They are organic compounds organized in the form of aldehydes or ketones with multiple hydroxyl groups coming off the carbon chain. Here, this is the classification of the carbohydrates. Monosaccharides. Mono means one. इसमें एक सैकराइड्स का मतलब होता है सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक शुगर का मॉलिक्यूल. जब एक होगा तो मोनोसैकेराइड, 2 होंगे तो डाइसैकेराइड, 3 होंगे या उससे ज़्यादा होंगे तो ओलिगोसैकेराइड्स. और ये नियर अबाउट 10 मॉलिक्यूल्स शुगर के जो है जुड़े हुए होते हैं. देन द पॉलीसैकेराइड्स, मोर देन 10 शुगर्स जो है ना आपस में कंबाइंड होते हैं. सो आपके पास कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स. तो इस तरह मोनोसैकेराइड्स are the examples are the glucose, fructose, galactose. ये आपस में जो है ये आपके पास मोनोसैकेराइड्स होती हैं क्योंकि एक ही शुगर के मॉलिक्यूल पर मुश्तमिल होते हैं. Then disaccharides, the sucroses, lactoses, maltoses, they are combined and they joined by the 2 molecules. 2 saccharides are 2 sugar molecules. When they combine, they will form the disaccharides. And more than 2 to up till 10, then the raffinoses and the starchoses are there. And the polysaccharides are more than 10 to more than sugar compounds. They will combine and they will form the starch. The glycogen and the cellulose are the examples of the polysaccharides. The monosaccharides, basically monosaccharides from the Greek word monosis means the singular, saccharide means the sugar, also called the simple sugar, is a mixture of the sugar and the simplest form of the sugar and the most basic units of the carbohydrates. Examples of monosaccharides includes the glucose, which is dextrose and fructose. And you know that what is the basic difference between the dextroses and the dextrose and the levoses means that they are dextrorotatory and the levorotatory. So their compounds are, although they contains the six compounds, six carbons are present in glucose and 6 are present in the fructose, but they are dextro and the levorotatory. There are differences between the photoelectric effect. and the galactose are the examples of the monosaccharides. It is that type of the carbohydrates which cannot be further hydrolyzed. It will be broken down into the simple form of the sugars. They cannot be broken down. They are classified on the basis of carbon. Like trioses mean 3 carbon containing, tetroses mean 4 carbon containing, pentoses mean 5 carbon, hexoses mean 6. Examples of the 3 carbon containing is glycerine, 5 carbon containing is the ribose, and the 6 carbon containing is glucose and the fructose. On the right side, these are the cyclic structures, and the open structures of glucose, fructose and galactose are there. The oligosaccharides and the polysaccharides, the last one of this topic is that the oligosaccharide is the carbohydrates whose molecules upon hydrolysis yields. When on hydrolysis, hydro means water, lysis means splitting. With the help of this water, it will split and they will form the 2 to 10 monosaccharide molecules. Oligosaccharides are classified into subclasses based on the number of monosaccharide molecules that form when one molecule of the oligosaccharide is hydrolyzed. Polysaccharides, in other words, a long chain of monosaccharides linked by the glycosidic bonds is known as a polysaccharide. Poly means many. The chain may be branched or unbranched and it may contain different types of the monosaccharides. Oligosaccharides, the example is raffinose on the right side of the screen. The raffinose here, through the glycosidic linkage, galactose, glucose and fructose, when they all are combined with the glycosidic linkage, they will form the structure of the raffinose. And here down, this is the structure of the glucose and the cellulose. When glucose, they are going to combine with each other, and the end chain of the glucose is going to be combined. It is formed the cellulose, the polysaccharide chain, the cellulose. So today you learned about the introduction of the carbohydrates because you are learning about the biochemistry, the chemistry of the living organisms. निशास्तदार ग़िज़ाओं के बारे में आज आपने पढ़ा है. Then you are going to learn. Then the classification was there: the monosaccharide, the disaccharide, and the poly and the oligosaccharide and the polysaccharides. Then next lecture will be on the proteins. From head to toe, you are made up of the proteins: your hairs, your nails, and hooves. So we will learn about the proteins in next lecture. May Allah give you the protection from all evil. Take care. Allah Hafiz.